Hello, everybody. My name's Rick McCutcheon, and today on Partner Talks, we're going to be talking to Duffy Cohen. Duffy, tell us who you are and what you do.
Perfect. Well, nice to meet everyone here, and nice seeing you again, Rick. Name is Duffy Cohen. I am the Vice President of Partnerships here at Velixo. At Velixo, what we do, we are a live Excel-based reporting solution that allows you to connect directly into Business Central and push and pull all your data in real time between Excel and Business Central itself.
Okay, excellent. So Duffy, let's talk a little bit about your career and your background selling business applications, and we'll talk a little bit about Velixo, because you're net new into the dynamic space. You guys are coming in strong, and just kind of give a little background on the company and where you came from.
Absolutely, and I always like to say that we're the new kids on the block in the BC space in this day and age itself. But a little bit about myself, I have been a professional for about 15-20 years. While it already dates me back quite a bit. But originally in the early days itself, I used to work in the operations department itself, and I got my real flavor for business applications about 10 years ago, working for card linking business itself, where we got to work with many other very large organizations such as American Express and a few others, just to name a few, that just gave me that exposure in working in a partnership ecosystem. Now, dovetailing over the last 5 years, dove into Velixo. I can't believe it's already been 5 years, but dove in not knowing a lick about ERP at all. And what I can tell you is that it really is dog ears when you're working in the SaaS space itself. So really understanding how the ecosystem works, how you play with different partners in the space itself, but also how to create value is something that I think we've learned quite quickly in the space itself.
Okay, so there's all kinds of high-end reporting tools for the ERP space and in Business Central. Why do people still want to use Excel?
Oh, it's the million-dollar question that always comes up. I think we all know businesses try to get away from Excel, but at the end of the day, organizations keep coming back to Excel because it's the number one thing that we use in school, but it's something that we're already familiar with. We already have that backbone in using an Excel solution. That when you're using an innate report writer, it could be BC, for instance, it could be another ERP. They're all fantastic, but it doesn't give you that ability to format and get these reports in really the way that you need and want.
Okay, and like Velixo's really taking off in the marketplace. What was 2025 like for your organization?
Oh yeah, so Velixo really has taken off since I started about 5 years ago. When I first started, I think I was employee number 5 or 6 in the organization. We worked with about 200 customers. We worked with only about 30 VARs or so, and over the last 5 years, we've grown to over 3,400 customers using Velixo, and we work with over 200 VAR partners in the space itself. But in the early days of starting with Velixo, it was really understanding what is this market bearing, what are customers really looking for. And what we did in the early days is we spoke with partners to get a better idea from a reporting standpoint, what are their current pain points that they're dealing with right now? And from that point there, we were able to evolve the solution over time to ensure that customers were able to report on anything in their operations itself. So whether it's finance, operations, being able to pull anything on the dime is really what customers are looking for. And for us, it's really reducing that time to value for customers who really need to get out time-sensitive reports for their board or for other individuals in their organization.
So if we're looking forward for Velixo, and 2026 is going to be, I think, a big year for you, especially in the Dynamics Business Central space. What do we have in store for Velixo this year?
Love that question. So we are hot off the press in the BC space itself. We launched Velixo uniquely for BC at the end of 2025. So 2026 is where we will be ramping specifically within the BC channel itself. So some of the items that we're going to be looking at launching off, and I know this is something that everyone talks about, AI, but this is one of the pieces that we are double downing on our side here at Velixo. So we're going to be looking at introducing a guide agent. So something that's going to be able to enable you to look at any errors that potentially you made on your given report, click on that error, and it lets you know exactly what the solutions are. In addition to that, we're going to be coming out with an analyst agent who is going to be able to look at anomalies and provide you with real-time insights. But la pièce de résistance, which is the most exciting piece, and I think a lot of individuals will be excited about this, is that we're looking at also launching a report building agent. So we don't have to spend all those times that we are right now building these reports out. Let's leverage AI and use that with our expertise.
Okay, that sounds like an exciting year for Velixo coming up. And if partners want to talk to you, I think you're going to be at the Directions. Your team will be at the Directions show coming up in Florida in April.
Absolutely. You and I had the opportunity to meet at the previous Directions event, and that was our first real exposure into the BC ecosystem as a whole. But yes, we are going to be at almost every single possible BC event itself, whether it's Canada, the US. We're in 26 countries, so we'll make sure that we're stopping in every single country possible. We'll also be going to Slovenia later this year as well. We're really, really excited about the PC ecosystem and the product offering to go to market from our standpoint within the BC space itself.
So that's another great show, Dynamics Minds, and I'm excited about getting there as well. So,
yes.
Duffy, thanks for your time today, and I'm sure we'll be back on Partner Talks to find out more about Velixo and what you've got in store for the Business Central market.
Perfect. Thanks so much. Have a good one.
Have a great day, and bye for now.